This is a video for a Honda Accord. It's a 2.4 EX model, automatic, registered EN06OKO. Currently the car's done 74,500 miles. It's a quick walk around of the car just to show you the external condition of the vehicle. Come to the front of the car, all in very nice order, just a few little stone chips. In fact, most of that's a little bit of stuff rubs off. It's actually good. Lens really good. Bonnet's very free of stone chipping. It's in very nice order. Lens on the side absolutely spot on. So offside front wing, very clean indeed, and offside front wheel and alloy absolutely perfect. Tons and tons of tread on the tyre there as well. Coming up this side, wing mirror housing is all good. Panel works all in very fine order. There's going to be the odd light, very minor mark in the car. You can't get away with that on the, this age of vehicle, but it really is very crisp. Rear tyres got tons of tread again. Alloy, I can hardly see a mark. In fact, if I look closely, there's a ditchy one just there. It's minuscule. Just come down to the flanks of the car and just show you just how clean and crisp that side of the car actually is. Around the back of the car again, all in very nice order. Just a couple of sort of light abrasions on there, sort of brush marks or otherwise. Near side of the car again, flanks incredibly clean and crisp. It's amazing given the the age of the car. We're looking at the car that's now nearly 10 years old. Tyre on this side, a Michelin, virtually like new in terms of tread. Alloy wheel, not a mark on it. Coming down the flanks of the car, all in really lovely order. And again, near side front wing absolutely perfect. Front tyre again, like new. This is the only alloy which has got a few marks, got a little bit of curbing just on the outside edge. Don't know whether you can see it there. Maybe just sort of snagged on a curb at some time in its life. But externally, it's a car that, taking into consideration age and mileage, is in really top condition. Okay, so just coming into the boot area, really big boot in the Accords. You see there, it's all in very nice condition in here. No marks at all. Yellow tabs there, you just pull those back and you can drop those seats down in a 60-40 split. Underneath here, you got your full, you got your spare wheel and full set of tools in the car still. And coming to the back of the car, we've got the near side rear door card, which looks absolutely like new. It's in amazing condition. Back of the seats, again, very good condition. Plastic's all really good there. No sort of feet, kids' feet being bashing away on them. And that door card again, the light's not very good on this one, unfortunately. Really nice order. The leather seat in the back here is in absolutely top condition. You won't fault that at all. Coming to the front of the car now, we've got the driver's door card. Again, all in top condition. So you've got the Honda mats in there. Electric seats on the Accord of this age. And they all work absolutely perfectly. And the leather works in very fine order. The only there's a tiny bit of wear on the bolster there where you're getting in and out, but it is absolutely minuscule. And passenger seat, again, absolutely wonderful condition. Just looking above our head here, obviously got electric sunroof on the EX model. Just press to tilt it, and then back to slide it back as well. So inside the car now, just quickly to pan down here just to show you got the full owner's manual pack and the original lock and wheel nut with the car, so it's all good and intact. Coming around the dashboard, really lovely condition in here. The plastics are in the highest condition, the best condition I've seen of it in a long time. You got this big, lovely, crystal clear sat-nav system, which is all fully functional. All the switches really top condition, no paint sort of flaking off them. And you got this really lovely kind of silver trim effect or carbon fibre-esque look to it all, and it's all in absolutely fantastic working order in here. Coming over, we've got a multifunction steering wheel. You've got your, on top left, volume, audio controls, top right, cruise control, bottom right, information display, and on bottom left you've got voice activation. The only thing I would point out is the hands-free telephone, this part here, has actually been disconnected on the car, so that isn't functioning on this particular vehicle. coming in a little bit, we've got the rev counter and speedo and fuel gauges there. You can see with the rev counter, engine is running and there's no warning lights on the car at all. Car showing 74,573 miles. But really speaking, it's in fabulous condition in here. I'll just quickly show you here. So the electric folding wing mirrors, all working exactly as they should. Alright, so under the bonnet now with this really nicely presented engine bay with the Honda 2.4 VTEC engine. Absolutely superb engine, more of which in the following road test of the car. It's in wonderful, wonderful condition under here. Just quickly popping inside, we've got the service book for the vehicle, which shows a fantastic service history. We've got 8 services there over the page. We've got another 2 as well, so really, really, really good service history on the car. And come over, last MOT just recently done, showing no advisories at all on the MOT. Right then, this is the road test section for the Honda Accord 2.4 EX automatic. Car registered EN06OKO. Mileage at the start of this is 74,508 miles. The purpose of this short road test is just for those who may be coming a fair distance to us. We now sell to people from all over the near continent and the extremities of the UK. So what we try and do for those people is, and also people locally, is just to give the reassurance to people that may be travelling or investing a lot of time, energy and money, to know that the car drives as it should, or if there's any issues with the car, I can let you know about them at this point so you can make up your own mind. What I try and do on these videos is to go through kind of the sequence of events you would probably do yourself when you came to look at and obviously drive the car. Obviously this video should come after a walk around appraisal video, including the service history and then the exterior and interior of the car. So realistically what we're looking at is obviously engine first. The engine, it's a jewel of an engine. It's one of Honda's very, very best engines. 2.4 litre VTEC engine, cam chain driven, starts absolutely on the button, utterly silent, settles to a completely smooth and very, very subdued idle. As I say in all the text on these engines, you know, the lack of vibration is very much more akin to a 6-cylinder engine, but the way it goes about its business is just fantastic. It really is a wonderful, wonderful unit. Well, more of that in a second, but just at this stage, just to say, the engine pulls absolutely perfectly, operates exactly as you'd hope and expect. Obviously now it's done a few miles, it's completely loosened up, so it really, really does go extremely well and very smoothly and very, very, very refined. Looking at the dashboard now, apart from a fuel light on, there's no warning lights on the car at all. The car drives through Honda's automatic gearbox, and it's a really, really nice pair up. The gears engage very, very smoothly. It's a gearbox we've never had any issues with, and we've sold many of the cars, even with some very high mileages. So, you know, we know kind of what to expect, but so the gears change beautifully. As soon as you put it into drive or automatic from stationary, there's no thumps or thuds as it goes in. First to second gear change is utterly smooth, and as I said, it matches this engine absolutely superbly. The brakes on the car are rock solid, a lovely pedal. I can't detect any shimmies or shudders as when I hit the brake pedal. It's very, very confidence inspiring, so it suggests that, you know, all's in good order underneath. Obviously, you know, we'll be putting the car through the workshops to check the brake discs and the pads as a matter of course anyway. The steering of the car, I love the setup on the Accord, and I said more of this in a second, but just to let you know, at this stage there is no wobbles, it tracks bullet straight, it feels absolutely perfect in my hand. I cannot detect a hint of wear in the steering of the car in any way, shape or form. The suspension of the vehicle goes about its business very, very quietly. There's no strange noises coming from underneath the car. Again, you know, sometimes on cars with a few miles on the clock, you pick up a few little, you can sense a little bit of wear in the system, so there's a little bit of light tapping or clonking, which you get from a little bit of wear in the suspension joints or steering track rods, or that more commonly on all cars, what they call these anti-roll bar links, which are a designed weak point in the system, and they can chatter away from cars which haven't been kind of looked after that well, or where they're due to be replaced. But it really does ride absolutely beautifully. And I had one recently with a stupidly low mileage. I think it was about 20,000 miles or so, a diesel version, and this rides exactly the same with no hint of wear in it anywhere down the system. As I've obviously alluded to earlier, looking at the dashboard now, all's working absolutely perfectly on there. There is no warning lights at all illuminated, nothing flashing to concern yourselves about. Coming to the centre of the dashboard here, we've got this lovely big screen sat nav, which you can see is fully functional. Everything I've pressed so far on the car works absolutely perfectly. One thing to point out, some thieving Herbert has nicked the menu button, which was in the car when I went to go and view it when I bought the car. So thank you to whoever did that, but obviously we'll be now phoning Honda and getting a new menu button, select button fitted to the car. It's only a few pence, but it's a little bit petty whoever did that, but there we are. The gear lever, all in really nice order. They don't really wear, but just to let you know. The heated seat buttons all work absolutely perfectly. I've got it on low setting at the moment. I've got a nice toasty backside, it's very nice. The seats are in fantastic order, there's not a hint of wear in them. Really supportive, incredibly comfortable. I know from personal experience, I've had 2 or 3 of these 2.4 Accords of my own personal cars, and the seats, it's just nice to get back home into them. They're absolutely fantastic. Steering wheel, obviously multifunction. This is the later EX car, so you've got obviously audio controls top left, cruise control top right. Then you've got this information display system in the middle of the dashboard, which you control with your thumb, which I'm just waggling about there. Left hand side bottom, you've got voice activation system, so you can press a button and say fan speed 5 or radio 3, and it can do it all for you. I tend not to use it. It's the only thing that I really don't like about the car, that you press the button there, you ask for radio 3, and you get a change in the ventilation system, because it just picks up a little bit of background noise and can't quite hear you, so you end up shouting at it. So to bring you to basically the drive of the car itself, I mean, if you're coming a long way, first things first, you will not be disappointed. If you know what these cars are all about, there's nothing on this car that you're going to get in and turn the key and drive and be disappointed with. It drives beautifully. There's being a later EX, just very quickly before I get to the drive, sorry, don't assume when you look at the adverts that they all have sat nav. They don't. It was actually deleted on the EX, and it was an option thereafter. So if you see an EX advertised with sat nav, just make sure you have a photograph of it to make sure it is there and it is working. But as I said, this one is an EX with sat nav, as you can see it is fully functional. So yeah, it brings me back to the drive of the car. I maintain that this is one of Honda's top 5 cars of all time. They've built some wonderful sports cars, which quite rightly rank very highly indeed. But for the average man in the street, they've built it. It's rock solid. What it gives you is basically you've got a very highly equipped car for not a lot of money, relatively speaking, but you've got an unbelievably reliable car. They take quite colossal mileages in their stride. We've had them back with over 200,000 miles, and apart from wear, just as sweet as this. They do take their mileages unbelievably well, which means you've also got to be careful of clocked cars. But what I love about the car, this 2.4 engine made to this automatic gearbox is perfection. They do a 2-litre version, which again is a mighty fine engine, nothing wrong with it. But I think the 2.4, in all honesty, is a much nicer unit. It's got what Hondas aren't exactly famed for, which is a lot of low down instant torque. So it just pulls effortlessly at low revs. I'm just trundling along here at 30 miles an hour. I'm literally just touch the throttle and it wants to go. The 2-litre versions, you just got to work them a bit harder. And whilst the claimed MPGs for the 2.2-litre versions is slightly better than the 2.4 as you'd expect, the reality is, in the real world of driving, the 2.4 engine is, I get about 2 or 3 miles per gallon better out of the 2.4, because the engine just is not being worked. You just don't have to work it as hard, so it's not going up and down the gearbox as much, not putting as much wear on the gearbox or transmission, and it's just a much more relaxing place to drive. On top of that, it's got this wonderful chassis. It's a shame that manufacturers have now reverted to these electric power steering systems, which to me they've lost a lot of feel. They're very accurate, but they've lost the feel. This has got this lovely, slightly heavy feeling power steering system. It inspires confidence utterly. You know, you go through corners at speed like the one coming up, it just turns in, holds its line, and it's just an absolute joy. The body control is wonderful on the car. It really is a brilliant chassis on the vehicle. And as I said, it's one that Honda should be rightly proud of. But the flexibility of the engine, the sound of the engine, it is a lovely thing to use. You know, you compare this to a 320, 325 BMW, an Audi A4 1.8 turbo, which I hate turbos generally speaking, and it's got way more character than either of them, and miles better reliability. So anyway, I hope that gives you an insight into the car, short as it may be. If I've missed out anything on the test drive that I should have mentioned, I apologise. Please do give us a call, but at this stage, rest assured the car you're coming to see drives absolutely beautifully.